some of the president's top economics people. Right, yeah.
David, can I just go to the auto company, because it's also part of this idea, what is the role of government right now, and what do they, my impression is he clearly says, you know, whatever the means, we cannot let these companies fail.
Right. Listen, that's an unpopular thing to say right now. The bailouts of Wall Street, very unpopular. The bailouts of the auto industry, nearly as unpopular. And so he's got a hill to climb there. But I thought he had, just rhetorically, a fantastic line, which was, I'm going to paraphrase it, the country that invented the automobile can't walk away from the industry. That is a line that plays on patriotism, it plays on nationalism. It's the best line I've heard in explaining why we have to do that. Now, again, how you're going to do it and how you're going to reward the executives and unions and all that, that's a problem. But rhetorically, he really pushed pretty hard tonight and very effectively.
Speaking of compensation, that's been swirling around this thing, and it is a hot-button issue for politicians.
It's the thing that unfortunately motivates quite a lot of people, particularly in certain industries like Wall Street and financial services. I'm not certain that the administration truly understands what an important motivator compensation and outsized compensation actually is on Wall Street. And I think that they may not understand just how difficult it's going to be to change that culture. I mean, it's not just CEOs. I mean, the bonus culture goes all the way down to the secretary level in that business. It is an amazingly motivating factor. It's what people, the best and brightest, often leave our best B schools to go there, not because they want to make a difference in life. They want to make a lot of money. Yeah. Nobody likes to put it that way, but that's what it's all about.
The other side of that argument is these are the people who know how to fix a problem, and therefore you can't have that brain drain that they, I think the New York Times, Wall Street Journal,
well, I guess in the near term, I mean,
yes,
where are they going to go? You know, I have no offense to it,
the hope.
It isn't exactly.
Say that again, Darwin.
Well, maybe the hope is that the best and brightest now will see another era, as we saw in the 30s, as we saw in the progressive era at the turn of the 20th century, where people go into public life, where they really want to go into government and make this government work, where they want to become teachers. I mean, it may be that material ethos that we've seen in the last couple of decades, and this is really optimistic, will now create a newer generation that wants to do something in a larger sense rather than just make private gain through a lot of bonuses on Wall Street.
Maybe they'll become professors.
Well, we have
Heaven forbid.
in the School of Public Policy, and we've had this problem that our best have been going into investment banking, and we just solved that problem.
Funds and all that. Make a lot of money.
No problem about this, and it's the same week, if you've been reading inside the papers, Andrew Cuomo's investigation into the circumstances in which John Thane, that the circumstances in which he paid out several $1 billion in bonuses in the teeth of the crisis, at a time when they were, what, 4 weeks from closing the Merrill Lynch Bank of America deal. The assets on Merrill Lynch's books were deteriorating by the hour, and both groups of executives spent quite a lot of deliberate time figuring out how to hand out bonuses that really they should have obviously not been distributing in the way that they were. There's quite a lot of information about what really happened in November and December that is yet to come out that I think will outrage the American public appropriately once it comes onto the record. So, you know, there is still, I thought the president did a good job of getting ahead of some of this outrage, which the Republican Party had successfully exploited during the debate about the stimulus, but this narrative is far from over. We don't even really know what happened in the period from October to the first of the year yet. Those facts are going to come out.
And do you think the public will demand some kind of...
Well, I think part of the case for receivership is political, which is that if the Treasury Secretary has a plausible, pragmatic alternative that avoids temporary government management of these big, complicated banking institutions in order to cleanse them of their toxic assets, terrific, but he's been working on this problem since the fall. He hasn't been able to come up with a plan in which he has confidence in. The alternative, temporary receivership on the FDIC model, on the